Welcome, welcome. I want to thank everyone for coming to my humble get-together at our corporate headquarters. It's about 6 months into the contract's performance, and I don't think any of us have actually met each other. Good to see Mike here. Welcome. And Coco, nice to have you here. And Lawyer, glad you could make it. Coco, do you mind giving us a riveting speech as our leading contracting officer?
Okay, I'll decide to give a speech since you technically cannot tell me what to do. Well, everyone, I know it's been a little bit of a confusing performance period so far.
Contract's dead.
All right. Quiet down, everyone. Quiet down. At approximately 16 hours, my team received a call for a code 1102, murder.
Well, it wasn't me. I create contracts, not destroy them.
Well, it wasn't me either.
Yeah, it's a shame what happened, but I think we're done here.
Not so fast. None of you are done here. Every single one of you has just become a suspect in this terrible taxpayer money-wasting crime. And with my keen intellect and terrible British accent, I just have to figure out who the guilty one is. Everyone stays in this room while I conduct my investigation. And I'll start with you, Vanessa Venderson. Come on.
I better not get blamed for this. The contracting officer gets blamed for everything. It's not my fault if the contract dies after I award it.
So, Miss Venderson, you're looking fancy. Is that a Chanel coat? Interesting choice of clothing, considering your company almost went bankrupt last year.
I'm doing okay.
And what was this dead contract for?
IT support.
Is that all?
I was supposed to provide a new software platform that replaced an outdated legacy system.
Have you ever provided a software platform for the government before?
The evaluation criteria asked for past performance, not experience. And technically, I was on a platform contract before.
I've always used past performance. It's required. Plus, isn't past performance and past experience the same thing?
You were supposed to replace an old legacy system, but thanks to the evaluation criteria, a new legacy has been created as a result. The legacy of a homicidal maniac.
I wouldn't know.
Do you think she did it?
I will neither confirm nor deny that statement.
Oh, hey, Mike, while we're here, I never got your IGCE for this requirement.
What's an IC Jeep? I'm so confused. I just started my job 2 months ago. Someone told me I'm supposed to be a core for this new software and gave me a bunch of paperwork to do. I don't even know what a core is. Coco told me to write a PWS. No idea. Could never find out what that was.
How's your core training going?
Pretty good. You want to see?
What? No! Stop!
She told me to work on my core training. I'm not sure why, but I've got some rock hard abs now.
Miss Coco James? Have a seat, Miss James. I hope you don't mind doing some talking.
Okay, wait. Are you a company?
No, I'm a detective.
Okay, yes, I can talk to you.
So, you have a problem talking to companies, do you?
They make me uncomfortable. And also, it isn't possible to talk to companies. If I do, I have to tell everyone everything. Plus, I don't have time for that.
But you need to have discussions with companies to make sure that you create a good contract, yes?
No.
So, Mr. Esquire, Miss Coco James tells me that she wanted to award to a company that did not have the lowest price, but that you resisted in your legal review. Now, Why is that?
I do not have to disclose this information. Please submit all questions to the proper channels through a FOIA request.
So, you are not going to tell me anything helpful?
Sure, I'll provide my testimony.
Everything here is redacted.
Not everything. Look.
In conclusion? Okay. Well. All right, everyone, gather around, come to me. Right? After speaking with you all, I have plenty of reason to suspect who in this room killed the contract. Now, no one here acted honorably, but there is a clear culprit that stands above everybody else. I'm just kidding. It's not one person, it's all of you. Every single one of you had an equal part to play in the killing of this poor binding agreement. Let us turn our attention first to Miss Coco James. Now, first, we know that during the planning stages of this contract, you and the Corps hardly spoke to one another, nor did you speak to any of the companies.
I completed a market research report.
Not the same thing. Now, this was not supposed to be a paperwork exercise, Miss Coco. The survival of this contract required a people work exercise.
Hey, I'm not sure if this helps, but I looked up the word SF 1449 on Google, and it says San Francisco was not a city in 1449. Did you mean 1776?
Already the PWS was not clear. Furthermore, you said that you were going to make a best value decision through a trade-off analysis, which means that you did not have to award to the lowest bidder. There was someone with a much better proposal, wasn't there, Miss Coco?
Maybe.
But that person was not the lowest price, right? And why did you not award it to that company? Which brings me to the lawyer. Your risk aversion caused you to push back on the CO's initial award decision, didn't it?
It's really hard to award to a company that's not the lowest price.
Oh, it's really hard? Or does it just take a little more time to justify? Work you maybe didn't have time to do? It was easy to just award based on price, wasn't it? It's a lot easier to be more risk averse, isn't it? Which brings me now to Vanessa Venderson. Now, you knew that while this was a trade-off, price was still an important factor. So you lowballed your offer with hopes that you will get modifications shortly after award to get the real money.
That's preposterous. I never lowball.
But since your contract was so unclear due to a lack of market research and a good performance work statement, you lowballed something you didn't understand. And you didn't even ask about. Which finally brings me to the contracting officer's representative. Wow, okay. Not only do I have a recommendation for your pause, I have an accusation for you. The Corps, who in this case is also the product manager. Now, you were supposed to be a leader in the team, but instead, you became a pawn in the bureaucratic paperwork mind melt because you let this contract go out in an ambiguous manner and thus contributed to setting up a contract that was destined to fail. And finally, you are guilty end user.
Who's that? I've literally been here the entire time. I wasn't even invited to this dinner, but I just came because I've been waiting for my new software and it never came.
And thus, the end user is guilty by disassociation. Now, if he had been around, perhaps the requirements would have been better. Perhaps the contractor would have been different. No offense, Miss Venderson.
Are we all going to prison?
You already are in prison. A prison of organizational and disjointed confusion. And it's time to break free. You must work as a multidisciplinary group of people who are collectively responsible for delivering a defined product or process. Now, some people call this an IPT, an integrated product team. Don't get caught up in the semantics, team. Whatever the terminology, it requires collective responsibility, communication. How if one person fails, the whole team can fail. Now get out there and good luck. Oh, thank you. It's a cease and desist. Hey, who's Agatha Christie?